Hello and welcome to We're the North Bank. I'm Sparxs. This is Jamie. Hi, Jamie. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. No, it's not bad at all. Yeah, I had a bit of a stressful day yesterday, but other than that, it was we're pretty sound.
Tell me about it, mate.
So
Tell me
yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah. How are you feeling? Are you feeling all right after that? You kind of just go in the flow with it.
The worst thing is, it's the hope, isn't it? It's that little bit of hope that they give you as fans. But being fans of any football club, what is the point if you don't have a little bit of hope? So that's what I found with yesterday when that West Ham goal went in and it was 2-1 and we got one back at Everton. I grasped that little bit of hope and I didn't really know what to do with it because I weren't at the game. Unfortunately, I was driving. My signal was coming in and out while I'm trying to watch the game. I've said to the missus, pull over where we've got signal so I can watch this match because otherwise I'm going to throw my phone out the window. So that's how it went for me. It was so up and down. I don't think we were at our best yesterday either. I think the nerves got to us as well by the looks of things. How
Yeah,
are you feeling about yesterday?
yeah. I mean, I don't know how you saw things, but yeah, we didn't kick towards the North Bank the second half like we always do.
Oh really?
Um, yeah, basically because we lost the toss to Sean Dyche, and Sean Dyche was doing a bit of shithousery as he does, and he played the other way just to be a complete tool about things, I guess. Yeah,
Right.
so standard Sean Dyche behaviour, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I was a bit nervous anyway when Everton scored. Have you seen the replay of that, by the way?
No, I haven't. What
Right,
they're
the free kick.
No, I haven't seen the replay. I just watched it live, and I haven't watched it back since. I
Yeah,
can't find myself watching it back at all.
yeah. But that free kick was 7 yards further forwards,
Oh, was it?
yeah. It was a bit mad. Yeah. That's so it was just like now, and then somebody had a go about our goal being handball from I
Oh
think it was
yeah, from Gabby
Dunbar.
Jesus that was. Yeah, how
What was
in the
it?
ground? It was handball. Yeah, it was definitely handball. But
Where do you
it's
put your
just
hand?
yeah, it's how you perceive it. It's hit him here, and he's
Yeah,
moved in towards it. But I don't
yeah.
think there was any other way he could have possibly played that
No,
ball. Otherwise, what you going to do? Just move out of the way of it? It's not going to happen.
no, and his arms were down by his body as well. He wasn't trying to make himself big. It was just motion. But I guess handball is handball, or is handball.
Yeah,
We don't know
that's
what handball is, do we anymore?
Yeah, no, that's the problem. There's no guidelines, is there, where they go, so one week it can be a
No.
handball and the following week it might not be a handball, so you don't know whether you're coming or going,
Yeah, exactly. So
unfortunately.
yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, when Everton scored, I thought, here we go. Uh, you're just kind of thinking, well, at least we've just got to do our job, and then leave everything in the hands of the gods rather than not doing your job and just going, oh,
Yeah.
well, that's shit. Um,
Have
but
you
I don't think,
found this season? So have you found this season that when we go 1-0 up, the season before, when we went 1-0 down, I was always scrambling and nervous. This season, I don't feel nervous. When we go 1-0 down, I feel like, yeah, we're still going to win this match. Is that how you feel as well?
but I think the whole stadium gets like that as well. I literally think that the support of the fans this season has been better than ever before.
Yeah.
So I really do think, and they basically, when that happens, adversity happens. We just kind of get behind them, pick them up, and give them as much belief as they can possibly have, and it obviously seems to work for, I guess, 80-90% of the occasions. Obviously, there's the odd occasion this season where it hasn't worked,
Yeah.
but as a general rule, it has.
Yeah.
So yeah. You weren't watching it on the TV then, or were you watching it on the
No,
TV?
so basically, I've got twin girls, and
Right.
they live about 2 hours away from me. And
Right.
unfortunately, the last game of the season fell when I'm dropping them back to their mother's house. So
Right.
I've got two phones on the go. I've got the Man City phone on the missus' phone, on her phone, Man City
Yeah.
game, and then
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got mine on my phone, trying to watch them both at the same time.
What,
And then
while driving?
I weren't driving; she was driving. Nah,
Oh, okay. Right. Jesus Christ. There's a bit much of too much going on
yeah,
there.
no, yeah, yeah. So I've had both of them going. The first half, so my kids live in Coventry. I was coming back to Gloucester, where I live. The first 45 minutes was perfect. Like I could watch it perfectly, full signal. As soon as you get towards my neck of the woods, where I live, the signal just literally just goes like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just finding somewhere to sit down and watch it really. So it got to from the probably the 50th minute to about the 65th, I had no
Hmm.
signal at all. And it was
Right.
I was turning it on Talksport, turning them off, and then I don't know if we can curse on here, but I'm not going to. But then people on there, I cannot stand them. I
Yeah.
cannot stand them on Talksport, so I didn't even want to listen
No.
to it. But I had no other
Yeah.
alternative.
Yeah. Sometimes needs must. I've done it.
Yeah,
I've done it myself on the way back from when I've been mainly Southampton trips
yeah,
when I've been driving back from the football,
yeah,
and I just want to know what's going on in another particular game,
yeah.
and yeah, I have to just unfortunately just brave it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you
sometimes
see Jamie O'Hara and that is it Jason Cundy?
yeah,
Did you see them after the Tottenham game?
I
Well,
saw
during the
them.
Tottenham game.
I saw them draw in the Tottenham game where he's got Man City kit on, and oh god.
What is going on?
I
What
don't
is?
know. I mean, the level of hate we get is just crazy.
It's from everywhere, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it
literally.
really is. I was coming back from a game last night,
Yeah.
and yeah, there was a couple of Chelsea fans got on the train, and they were giving us crap. There was about five of us on the train that were all wearing Arsenal tops. Of course, I don't live in London. I live in Brighton,
Yeah.
so I'm coming back, and they're just giving me beef and stuff, and I'm like, right, I can kind of get it, but
Yeah.
again, I don't as well.
I've got 5 on it. That's what I've got to say to them.
Yeah, well, there
I've
you
got
go.
5 on it.
Yeah, so but yeah, but yeah, they're going on. So I was just like, well, it's a London club as well, so
Yeah.
it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't got real issue with that.
Yeah.
I got back into Brighton, and there were people wearing Brighton kits because I have to get in Brighton Station to come to where I actually live, and they're coming back from a Brighton game, and they're doing Manc accents and walking
Really?
down the concourses and basically going when Arsenal left it up, and this, that, and the other. And I was just like walking down this platform going, what have we done to you? We haven't done anything to you, you know, and there was a couple of older guys
Yeah.
and they were kind of looking in amazement. I was like, just rent free, mate. We're
It's
rent free
we
everywhere.
literally like. Did you see all the Fulham fans piping up yesterday as well on
No, I
timeline?
didn't. No, I
There were
didn't.
so many of them. So I had a couple of messages. So obviously, I've got my channel. It's predominantly I can just talk about any type of football and to any type of fan. So I've
Well,
got a few.
introduce your channel while you've got
While
onto
I'm
that
here, yeah. So
subject, you
basically,
know.
I run a channel called Jamie Waffles Footy. So I talk about anything to do with football. It's just starting up. I do a lot of TikTok content, which is Arsenal based. But I try not to be as biased as I possibly can, even though I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yes, I try to the same. I don't always manage it.
No,
I can guarantee, and
yeah,
I probably ruffled a few feathers yesterday on the internet, and you know, people got a little bit salty about Klopp leaving and such
yeah.
like, and his legacy that was kind of going around, and maybe
Just
he's not
describe
quite
his
as good
legacy
as
for me. Describe his
what
legacy. Describe his legacy. What do you think of it?
I mean. Everybody's describing him as a legend, but and he is
Yeah,
to a point because he's won one of everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I think we're going through that now, aren't we? What
yeah,
he's gone through.
what he's gone through, and I guess he is a legend. He's more of a legend to them than he is to
Yeah,
rival fans, I would say.
yeah.
And I don't think that what he's done can be knocked.
No.
And he's done it against City teams and such like.
Yeah, what was their points total when they finished second that time? Was it 97 points? Was that their 18 to 19 season?
Didn't they do it? They did a 99 points one,
Or was
didn't
it a
they?
99 pointer?
It was either 97 and 99, I think. So
Yeah,
it's pretty damn impressive.
yeah. So it all
But
comes down to Guardiola, doesn't it?
yes, but if Arteta, dare we say it,
Yeah,
wins all those trophies,
yeah,
and granted he hasn't done it yet, and he may never do that. Let's put that caveat in there.
yeah.
But we're not basically saying that he is going to do that. But if he does, then he has to be on the same bracket, right?
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So with Guardiola, yeah. Say if Guardiola leaves tomorrow, which he
Mm.
in his interview yesterday, he was kind of hinting about leaving. If you've watched it,
I
who would?
didn't see it actually, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, Guardiola yesterday was saying he's more closer to leaving than staying for longer.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think maybe a season. Okay. Who would?
Or he's just tempting,
Yeah.
the obvious Twitter storm,
Yeah.
X
Who
storm, whatever.
who would Man City come in for if he leaves? Arteta, I think personally.
I don't know. As of right now, I don't
Yeah.
think he comes in that conversation.
Do you know? I think personally that they would. Obviously, they know Klopp wouldn't go there. Yeah. What other
Do
managers?
they? Do they know that?
I suppose we
So,
could test the waters.
so basically, I mean, this is a thing. They've hardly had a rivalry, have they?
No, it wasn't one.
They're more lovers than haters, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
So they have a little cuddle, have
a little canoodle.
a little kiss in the corner,
Yeah,
a glass of vino, do whatever.
yeah.
Could he not show up at City?
I think he's going to take a couple of years out. I do personally. That's what I think. I think he's having a break for a year or two. I could see him going back to Dortmund again afterwards.
Yeah, all right. So
Yeah. Who else then after that? Who could they? Who could you see? I'm not saying that Arteta would go there. I'm saying he's the one who's chasing Man City's team.
the thing is that they could get anybody, couldn't they?
Yeah,
It's not like an Arsenal where they don't employ
yeah,
these kind of managers. They always employ upcoming long term managers, don't they? As such.
yeah. What I'm saying is he'd be on their list 100%. So it just
I,
shows how far he's come.
well, Arteta would be on the list.
Yeah, 100%.
But do you think Klopp would be on the list?
Probably actually, yeah, because it's Man City. They can go do whatever they want, really, can't they? They've
Right,
got 150
exactly.
point charges. They do whatever they want.
Exactly. So if you put on, I don't know, Inzaghi maybe, because
Yeah,
Inzaghi's
sure.
he wouldn't leave for most places.
Yeah.
Being the Inter boss, but having an open budget
Yeah.
of doing whatever has got to appeal to a manager, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
So where Inzaghi maybe isn't attainable for us,
Yeah.
for Man City is.
Do you think that they would go for Inzaghi? Just say if Arteta said, yeah, look, I'll come. Do you think
I
they'd
don't.
go?
I don't know. He's got to be on the list of options, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, obviously, certain parts of our fan base which are fickle. I do not believe in this at all. They saying Arteta hasn't won a trophy, they want him out. Who would come in and do a better job right now than Arteta?
Well, this is the thing, and this is what we've had on my Twitter feed and such like.
Yeah.
There's one particular guy, and we've had this conversation, and he just calls Inzaghi straight away, and that's kind of why I use it as an example.
Yeah.
Because I don't see him coming to us.
No.
I don't see us even going for him because we don't have that. We don't employ that kind of manager.
No.
We employ somebody that's there for a longer duration, somebody that's going to be there for a process, for a length of time, or we employ somebody with a target in mind, right?
Yeah.
So Emery, for me, the reason it didn't work out with Emery is because he was seen as the king of Europa, right?
Yeah.
And he was employed to win us Europa League.
Correct.
And when it didn't happen, along with the poor style of football and some of the not dressing room bust ups, but lack of communication in the dressing room, if you like, and probably the falling apart of things,
Yeah.
I think that's when they decided enough was enough. And also the fact that were we 11th at that
We
time
were
when
12th. We were at that point. We were
yeah.
12th. Yeah. When
So
Arteta
when
came in, we were 12th.
yeah, but I mean, he took over from Lundberg though, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did from Freddie. Yeah.
So basically, he'd been gone in the summer. Lundberg took over, and yeah, we were 11. So basically, everybody goes, oh, eighth, fifth,
Yeah.
whatever. And you're like, well, you can't take the eighth because he didn't have a full season for one,
No, of course he didn't. No.
and for a second, it was improvement over what he took over with. In any
Can you
case,
remember that team? So I remember looking the other day at the team what he inherited. We had at right back, we had Maitland-Niles, we had Socrates, we had Mustafi, and we had Saka at left back. That was our back four.
uh, yeah.
Just think, just deep that like.
I mean, the best part of that lineup really was Leno and goal.
Yeah, he was our player. If your goalkeeper is getting your player of the season, there's a major problem.
There's something
There is a major problem.
serious
Yeah,
wrong, isn't there?
yeah, there's a major problem.
So you've got that in there, and obviously you've got your Shakas in there,
Yeah.
and
We were in complete turmoil, mate. We were in complete
yeah,
turmoil. At that point,
Saka was playing left back and stuff, and
yeah,
I
remember that COVID season, and I remember
yeah,
watching it. So I can say this. I've heard a lot of people say this now. And they say it's not the right thing to say, but Arteta has made me fall back in love with Arsenal Football Club, and it sounds like I didn't support them. It did. I still loved the club, but I remember during COVID, I was watching the games, and we were going 1-0 down. I was just turning the TV off. I was like, why do I need this stress? Why do I need it?
yeah. I had a season ticket still at the time,
Did you?
and in the stands there was straight on fighting on the terraces.
Yeah.
Every game there was somebody having a bit of a punch up because somebody would say something, somebody got upset about it, or one person would defend it and another would go, how can he defend it, this, that and the other.
Yeah.
So to see what happened at the end of the game yesterday,
Yeah,
and the players were genuinely upset that that they hadn't done it,
yeah.
and to see that reaction from the players and the fans reacted to that.
Yeah, I heard right after the game singing Super Mick Arteta straight away.
Yeah, it was probably
Great.
the best atmosphere I've heard, even from performances where we've been behind and we've come back. It's probably one of the best crowd performances I've heard
At the Emirates era?
at the Emirates. Definitely the Emirates area. So yeah, for sure. But what he's done from that point of view is incredible. Yeah. Obviously, we have to address the elephant in the room. We have to at some point start putting some silverware on the shelf.
Yeah, of course.
And that needs to happen. What's your take on the where it went wrong? Because I keep getting this. People keep trying to claim it. So there's Newcastle fans trying to claim it, City fans trying to claim it, West Ham fans trying to claim it.
I think personally it was that December period. I don't think it was nothing to do. Everyone keeps saying Aston Villa, that's where we went wrong, but we've won 17 out of 19 games. We've done our job there. That December period, the only game where we should not have won was it the West Ham game where we played really poor. But all the other games, the Fulham game, who else did we have in that period of time? I remember us dominating, but just not winning. And we weren't putting the ball in the back of the net, and that's what it was. We've gone to Dubai, come back.
We couldn't score for toffee, could we?
Yeah, that it was that period that I don't want to give it to Aston Villa and say it was that We should have won that match, but them big games there, that's what made the difference. Because the season, it's not just from 2024; it's from August.
Yeah, see, I also think that the first Fulham game where Gabriel didn't play because he supposedly had his head
Yeah.
turned, I think that's a downwards turn as well.
Was that when
Uh,
Polina scored that volley from the corner?
yeah, where all the defense was just all at sea, had
Yeah.
no clue what was going on. It was just like, yeah, I
Yeah.
gives me nightmares that. But also the performance at home against Spurs, I think for me
Yeah.
that's kind of unforgivable, that performance. But
What's your thoughts on that Man City, the draw at their ground?
see, I keep getting people, oh yeah, it's weak mentality, and Rodri's
No.
come out, hasn't he, and said, oh, it's
Yeah.
weak mentality, and it's not winners' mentality to go anywhere and win. And I was having this conversation with somebody else on my Twitter feed today, and he's telling me, oh, it's weak mentality. And I was like,
No.
but we had a game plan to get a draw.
Exactly.
We finished the game with a draw. We did what we needed to do. There are other managers used to play that way the whole time.
Yeah.
Mourinho, for one, used to go win at home, draw away every single year.
How many
And
times has Klopp beat Guardiola at the Etihad since he's been? Once.
once, I think, yeah, maybe
Once.
once.
So going there gung ho.
Yeah,
Did they take points off? And they didn't. No, they did not. We've
but
gone there and done it. We've gone there, we've drew, and at that point, it was only Liverpool that were in front of us by 2 points. And
yeah,
Arteta's thinking we can rely on Liverpool more to drop points than Man City. So he's gone there for the draw, and we've come out with the draw what we needed, and then we've lost points at
yeah, I
Aston
agree
Villa.
with
So that's
that.
what's happened.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But this notion that it's poor mentality because
No, it's
you're,
not.
yeah, and this guy was saying to me, because you've basically changed your whole methodology and the way you play football, it's a weakness.
It
Well, I was
definitely is.
like, well, actually, it's quite the opposite, isn't it? Because all the time you're beating us with this stick
Yeah.
that we don't have a plan B and we
And
don't have a different style of play. We play a different style of football, and all of a sudden it's weak mentality. It's just like you're shifting the goalposts to suit yourselves again.
it's always an agenda with us.
It
Always.
really seems to be, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be, any kind of victimhood, but
No.
it is just mental, and you've got still got Man United fans that are basically happy that City won.
Mate.
Everybody really, and
Mate. It's a joke. So imagine Tottenham winning. Just imagine. It's not never ever gonna happen. But imagine them three-peating, and when you're celebrating their fourth title. Make it make
yeah,
sense, lads. Make it make
but
sense.
I don't understand the
I
whole.
don't want Tottenham to win any possible game of football. When they were playing Man City, yeah, I did not want them to win. I wanted them to. I wouldn't have minded a draw, but I would
Yeah,
never celebrate one of their goals. Never ever would I. I never would.
I mean, yeah, I can't say that I wouldn't celebrate it, but I wasn't watching it anyway. To be honest,
No,
I was kind of. I got some of the highlights later on.
same as
Um,
me. Switched off.
because, yeah, I don't particularly like watching City play anyway because
You,
it's all kind of mundane, and you know
yeah,
what's going to happen before it
of course
happens,
you
sort
do.
of thing.
It's inevitable. That's what 115
Yeah.
15 charges gets you, doesn't it? Really.
Well, I
I'm
mean, yeah, I don't really want to go into that, to be honest, because
no,
everybody else seems to be doing that today. But
no.
you know,
They're a great team, mate. They're an absolutely
they're-
amazing team. We can't take that from them.
yeah,
Congratulations, Man City.
yeah, you can't take that away from them,
No,
and it's not the players' fault.
no.
So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we've just got to kind of accept that. And if they have done something wrong, which we can discuss on other programs anyway,
Yeah.
but if they have done something wrong, then they need to be punished with it, uh, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, that's not the players doing, is it?
No, it's not their
So
fault at all.
so where do you think we need to improve then? So we kind of gonna,
Personally,
yeah.
where do we need to improve? I think definitely left back. 100% left back. I know
You
you're
don't
in
think,
Timbers. You're in
yeah.
Timbers coming in, But I think the depth there is. So if just say inevitably everyone's thinking about getting rid of Zinchenko, aren't they? So just say Zinchenko goes.
I'm not.
No, I don't want Zinny to go either. But
No.
let's just say what most Arsenal fans are saying. Zinny goes. There's Timber. There's Kivior. We've had to rely heavily on Kivior this season
Yeah.
because of injuries. So I think ideally a younger, is it Hato? Ideally a left back like that. Definitely a centre midfielder. Whether it's Holding or the Xhaka role, either. Because if we're bringing in a striker also, I want rotation with Havertz and the striker. I'd keep Jesus personally, and I'd have him interchanging with Saka on the right hand side. That's personally what I'd do. But definitely, I think our main focus should be a centre midfielder, and personally, it would be a Frankie De Jong or a Bruno Guimaraes for me. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not far off that, to be honest. I don't really think the left back is a priority, but I think that in the long term it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
But I don't think right now it necessarily needs it 100%. But with getting Timber back, I was quite I don't know, a bit weirded out by him changing Timber with Ben White.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope this isn't the sign of things to come, and that they're actually going to play together and not the alternative. But yeah, then he'd got Zinchenko coming on anyway, so it's kind of, well, okay, fine. Well, it is what it is. So it's kind of facilitated players as well, get everybody rotating around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep Jesus as well. I'm kind of in the camp that we need a new left winger, a starting left winger.
Good take.
And then it leaves the likes of Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus, all for cover, wing cover in at certain times in games, and it gives a different option. So I'm kind of in that camp. I definitely think we need a striker. We all know we need a striker. Yeah. I know we've scored the goals, but I just think it just needs to be a different option. And yeah, we just need a bit more depth. That bench just needs to look a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
And we just need to have options off the bench rather than plugs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they're like, oh well, we've got him to come on, but he's not necessarily going to do the same job, or he's not going to affect the game or whatever.
He's not improving the team necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think we need to improve with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with who's your player of the season for us?
I'm torn between two people.
Well, I'll give you two options, and you can take them or not. Yep. So we do a signing of a season, and a player of a season. So if they're the same person, obviously
that helps definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to choose two, then you can choose the signing of a season and the player of the season.
Easily, the signing of the season has got to be Declan Rice. I'm not. We're talking just Arsenal, ain't we?
Just Arsenal, yes.
Okay, well that would go for the whole league anyway. But Declan Rice has been absolutely sensational for us. He's took us to another level. When we're playing against a team with our back against the wall, he's the one in and there, the nitty gritty. He's getting between players. I never realised how fast he was either. I can't believe, you know when he comes in.
It's stride though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a destroyer.
So, yeah, and that little flick off that he gets away has already got half a yard start.
Yeah, I mean, when he comes in, intercepts the ball and just takes it away from people. I mean, he's 30 meters up the pitch before you've even blinked an eye.
Yeah,
his ball progression is absolutely exceptional.
He did one yesterday, and I can't remember who it was against now, but he did one yesterday, and he literally just he started at the edge of the box. And he kind of went across, and it was almost like he was in the second third already. Then he slid through, won the ball, and like you say, before you knew it was on the halfway line. And you're like, you're not even that quick. How the hell did you get there?
No,
Good man.
he probably is my favourite player. But every week, my favourite player changes anyway.
Yeah.
So for my player of the season, it might be a bit out there, but I would say Ben White.
Okay.
I think he's an unsung hero. I think Benny Blanco has been absolutely exceptional. He's been, it might sound biased, I think he's been the best right back in the league, personally. And I predominantly watch Arsenal a lot, so I probably can't comment on that as much as other people can. But he's been up and down that pitch. He's been solid defensively, and going forward, his crosses in. Him, Saka and Odegaard, that little trio of play there.
Yeah.
It's how we win games. And then
Yeah.
that's the problem when we figured out over on that side, it becomes a bit of a dilemma. But he opens it up for Saka, and that's what makes it. He just brings out the best in a lot of players. I trust
Yeah.
him a lot more than any other player. I think that's
Yeah,
what it is.
I think he was playing with injury, wasn't he? When
Yeah,
it's not like midway through the season, probably December time.
yeah,
He was probably playing. He was playing with a bit of a knock, and he wasn't doing the overlapping, the
yeah,
kind of expansive stuff that he does.
yeah.
And I don't disagree with you. I mean, you could have 4 or 5 different players and
Of
not
course you
come
could.
up with the wrong answer, can you?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe people just don't like his tan. I think that's probably why they won't put him as the player of the
I,
season.
maybe he's just better looking than them, or
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think that's what it
know.
is.
Yeah,
He's a handsome devil, that boy, isn't he?
yeah, or they don't like that he's disrespected England, even though everybody
Oh,
would want to, because they've turned it off because it's so boring.
yeah, of course.
But yeah,
There's an honourable mention for a couple of players.
go on.
Kai Havertz towards the back end of the season, definitely. I wouldn't put him as the player of the season, but I think how he's improved, amazing. David Raya, he's got the Golden Gloves, so it speaks for itself. Him collecting the crosses, I think that's took us as well to another level this
Absolutely,
season.
the confidence from crosses, I think, is
Yeah, definitely.
exceptional.
As
And
soon as a cross comes in, he's collecting.
yeah, but he hasn't got the Golden Glove because of himself. He's got the Golden Glove
Yeah,
because of the defenders around him. But those defenders don't get in anybody else's combined
yeah,
11, apparently. So yeah,
yeah.
it's
And of course,
another
Bukayo.
agenda.
Of course,
What's that?
Bukayo Saka. Of course, Bukayo
Yeah,
Saka. Because
another one that's not performing. Yeah,
yeah, the most goals he's ever scored in a season for Arsenal, most
yeah,
assists. What did he end up with? 16 goals and
yeah.
what 10 or 11 assists?
10 assists, I think.
I
Yeah,
think he ended up with 32 goal contributions. And
yeah.
if you look at all these other players, what they're all saying, they're in that they're going to be world class bracket.
It's
He's
funny. It's
there.
funny when they with those figures that there was a release 2 weeks before that
Yeah,
of goal involvements that they 2 players had reached 30 plus, and one was Foden and one was somebody else.
yeah,
And I asked the question of how many was it for Saka, and he was one behind,
yeah.
and so he'd obviously got the one in that period anyway. And funnily enough, they didn't redo, this bit of media coverage
Of course they do.
with his name on it. So it was
Why is
like,
he so hated by the media?
I
I don't
don't know.
understand. And all these other rival fans,
I don't
us
know.
Arsenal fans need to get together and say, look, leave our boy alone.
Well, I don't
Because
think it'd make any difference, will it? It
yeah,
just kind of
I'll fight
antagonises
tooth and
it
nail
for
for him.
him.
I'll fight tooth and nail for my boy.
He's probably one of the most fouled players in the league.
I think he is the most foul player in the league.
Yeah, but he dives all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We forgot about one. I forgot about one honourable mention as well, Saliba.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to go to mine, and I was going to
Yeah,
put
you
him
go to yours then.
in
What's
my.
yours?
So mine is Declan Rice as well, but yeah, I would put Havertz in the most improved player
Definitely.
category,
Yeah.
and I'd probably put Saliba in as our player of the season that's not a transfer. And again, I put Ben White in as an honourable mention with Saka. And I don't think you can overlook Trossard and Tomiyasu as well. I think they've been immense when they come in, though. They just been great off the bench when they've been fit. More from Tomiyasu's point of view, with the fitness of glass ankles is, you know,
Yeah.
man just needs to get some stronger ankles, I think,
Yeah.
or get
Protect him
some.
at all costs.
Yeah, he wants to get some of Andy Murray's braces on his ankles. That
Yeah, because he has some big thick ones, don't he?
yeah. So support the old ankles,
Put
maybe.
some shin pads on his ankle.
Yeah, yeah. I did see as well when Saka got that stood up in the knee. They was talking about shin pads. It's like, oh, wear some shin pads. You're like,
Yeah, they do, because obviously all footballers have them little shin pads these days.
yeah, I don't get the shin pads. I really don't understand it, and
No,
it is an issue. But you know, if you're taken just below the knee, doesn't matter how big your shin pads are.
exactly right.
Yeah,
But when I was playing, I did always get the smallest possible shin pads I could, because the big
yeah,
ones felt big. Do you remember the ones? Remember the old school ones? They massive ankle ones, big,
yeah,
massive.
yeah,
You feel like you're shinning the ball every time you touch the ball. You trip
yeah.
for a volley, you're shinning it somewhere.
Well, they're cutting into you as well.
Yeah,
It's not very
definitely.
nice to wear. So yeah,
I do understand smaller ones, but the tiny, tiny baby ones, I don't understand
yeah,
them.
they're like the size of a 50p piece. It's just
Yeah, they
like,
are. Yeah,
what the hell is that about?
yeah,
Yeah, you kind of need some protection, but there you
yeah,
go. Well, there we go. I think we kind of covered everything. But
yeah.
yeah, if you're watching this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video. We're going to put a link to Jamie's channel in the description, and he's going to put some of this on his channel as well. So we're going to put it all ends up so you can see it. We'll put some bits on TikTok as well, so you can see it there. If you just make sure that you are following all the social links, we'll put them all in the description anyway. So just make sure you like them and whatever. But in the meantime, yeah, nice to see you, Jamie.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's been a good show. It's time's flown
Flew
by.
by. Yeah, I looked up and it was only half hour. I
yeah,
couldn't believe it.
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, but this has been my channel. We're the North Bank anyway. So, yeah, drop a subscribe, a like, and do the same for Jamie's when it's uploaded there. Until the next time, we'll see you later.